On this edition of Good Day DePaul, the debate over race and police shootings continues, this time with a protest in Chicago.
A look at why some students are taking extended breaks from college. Does it help or hurt them?
And a club sport on campus that's promoting self-defense. I'm Sarah Green.
And I'm Alexis Moberger, and this is Good Day DePaul.
For the past few months, it's been one of our nation's most controversial questions. Are police using excessive force against minorities? The question comes in the wake of the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Recently, people nationwide gathered to protest these and other incidents. Good Day DePaul's Sade Carpenter was at the Chicago demonstration near DePaul's Loop campus.
For these Chicagoans, October 22nd was more than just another fall day.
In light of the Michael Brown shooting just a few months ago, the Chicago community gathered here today in Daley Plaza to protest police brutality and mass incarceration.
It's called the National Day of Protest to stop police brutality, repression, and the criminalization of a generation. Hundreds of people in Chicago assembled again this year to express outrage at what they called ongoing violence at the rally organized by the activist group Stop Mass Incarceration Network.
As minorities, we are under attack for no just reason. We shouldn't be fearing our lives every second. That's why we're here.
We're out here in the streets today, everywhere, to say stop police brutality and no more stolen lives.
Keep posting it, keep putting it on Facebook, keep showing the injustice.
The October 22nd Coalition has mobilized the National Day of Protest every year since 1996. The coalition also works on the Stolen Lives Project, a list of people killed by law enforcement since 1990. While rally organizers spoke about Michael Brown, a black teenager who was shot and killed in Ferguson, Missouri, they also paid tribute to youth from Chicago like Laquan McDonald and Rashad McIntosh, who were also killed by police.
And we want justice not only for Michael Brown, but justice for all people that have been victims of police brutality.
Our hands are up, don't shoot. Why do they have to kill us? There's no just reason for shooting us.
Chicago Police Superintendent Gary McCarthy says the number of police-involved shootings has dropped during his tenure. He says this decrease is due to training and officers exercising firearm control. Still, protesters are not satisfied with the response from the police and government.
When the people are stepped on, they come out to contain us, but they never come out to free us. They come out to muzzle us, but they never come out to encourage us.
Supporters continue to rally and march, and those personally affected by police shootings want what they call justice.
Still, no one is giving me any answers on why. I want that officer that shot and killed my baby. I want him indicted. I want justice, sir, for my baby.
No more! No more!
Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Sade Carpenter.
The Chicago Police Department is starting to check bags for explosives at some CTA stations. Police say riders entering the stations will be randomly selected to have their bags swabbed with a stick that detects explosives. Although you can say no to having your bag checked, you won't be allowed to enter.
It happens more than you think at colleges like DePaul. Students drop out for a period of time and then come back to complete their studies. But how does this impact these students? I recently talked to some students and faculty members to get some answers. At 18 years old, Tiffany Sosin left Marquette University after just one semester.
When I was at school, I was really unhappy. I started sleeping in and not going to classes, and then eventually when it came to second semester and I couldn't afford it, I sort of just decided that I was done because it was really hard to get the money to pay for it, and I was so unhappy anyways that I might as well just stop.
Sosin says she doesn't regret her decision.
I am so much happier now with my life and how things are going that I know that if I stayed there, I wouldn't be in the same place that I am now.
Since leaving Marquette, Sosin married her best friend, who then joined the military. They've lived all over the country. She plans to go back to school as soon as her student loans are paid back.
I have so many loans just from the small amount of time I was at school. It's insane. It's really hard to pay it back, and I can't go back to school until it is paid off. It's really hard.
Sosin isn't alone. Almost half of all college students pursuing a bachelor's degree don't graduate in a 6-year time frame. However, at DePaul, the graduation rate is much higher than the national average. 70.5% of DePaul students graduate within 6 years, and the university is trying to make that rate even better.
We've removed a lot of barriers that made it hard for people to just get basic things done. So DePaul Central was created, so it's a one-stop shop for financial aid and student records and student accounts. That was an important thing. We also created an online degree progress report so that students can see where they are through their entire program. And we've created an online program declaration so that students can see that.
And one of the key factors in graduating is academic success in the first year of college.
That is the most predictive characteristic of graduating in the 6 years. I think finances and academics all play together.
While academic and financial issues are some of the most common reasons students drop out, personal problems are also a factor. DePaul senior Rachel Drusi decided to leave DePaul after her freshman year.
So throughout freshman year, I didn't really feel like I had much of a connection to DePaul or Chicago, and I really started to miss my family. So I decided to drop out of the university at the end of my year.
However, after just 1 quarter away from DePaul, she realized she'd made a mistake.
I kept visiting friends that I had made in Chicago at DePaul, and after being in Chicago every other weekend for a couple months, I realized I actually loved it here, and I wanted to come back to DePaul.
Drusi re-enrolled and was able to get back her scholarships and her place in the honors program.
It was a pretty quick process. All I had to do was fill out another application, and they waived the application fee. And I just talked to a couple of people from financial aid, and they made sure I got all my scholarships back. I got right back in the honors program, and it was kind of a seamless transition.
Since then, she's been very involved with the DePaul Activities Board and is now the president of the organization. Thanks to summer classes and December intercessions, she's right on track and set to graduate this spring. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Sarah Green.
Coming up, Laura Balbett has the latest on Blue Demon sports.
Plus, DePaul students again fight for MAP grants.
The flu is unpredictable and can be serious. Who needs to be vaccinated against the flu? You. Get a flu vaccine. For more information, www.flu.gov.
Laura Balbett is here now with an update on Blue Demon sports. So Laura, the basketball season is off and running?
Yeah, DePaul's really excited it's finally starting. The DePaul basketball season is finally underway. It kicked off with the annual inter-squad scrimmage. Good Day DePaul's Cheyenne Bowers was there.
The DePaul men's and women's basketball teams welcome students and fans to the McGrath-Phillips Arena for their intra-squad scrimmage. The women took the court first, coming off a strong NCAA tournament showing last season. Senior guard Brittany Rinko wants more of the same this year.
Just taking each game one game at a time. We would like to also just repeat last year, just win the Big East Championship, win the regular season, and just see how far we can go in the NCAA tournament.
Coach Doug Bruno says the team has a long way to go.
I think we got a lot of work to do, and as a coach, what you're trying to do right now is get your team ready for the season. At the same time, you're trying to get your team ready for a game.
After the women's scrimmage, the men took the court, but things got rough with some cramping and injuries. Because of that, Coach Oliver Purnell ended the scrimmage with 8 minutes left in the second half.
Well, it's tough. You know, you got to practice, and just like tonight, we want to go full game, and with 8 minutes to go, we had 3 or 4 guys banged up, and so we had to, back off a little bit. So I think we got to try to be smart, but at the same time, we've got to get our guys ready physically.
Sophomore guard Billy Garrett Jr., last year's Big East Rookie of the Year, has big hopes for the season.
Our goal is to win the Big East tournament. We want to compete for the Big East championship and then take it from there. If we can do that, then that'll take us to where we want to the next step. But we're trying to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. So, but our overall goal for everyone is just to win the Big East tournament. We want to compete hard in the Big East.
Though both teams say they're not quite ready for competitive play, the players, coaches, and fans are excited to begin another DePaul basketball season.
Thanks for all that you do for DePaul basketball.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Cheyenne Bowers.
And some bad news about those injuries Cheyenne mentioned in the men's scrimmage. Forward Rashawn Stimmage suffered a broken bone in his foot and will be out for up to 10 weeks. Stimmage is a transfer from Daytona State Junior College. The DePaul women's soccer team is still undefeated and without a loss in 17 games. The Blue Demons are now ranked number 8 in the nation by Soccer America. All this after a win over Xavier Musketeers at Wish Field. Before the game against Xavier, DePaul's 8 seniors were honored on Senior Day. It was a great moment for all of them.
Our teammates were so great. They made us feel so special coming into the game. We had a great pregame, and they made a video of us and just showing all the love that we had for each other. And I was just so pumped to play today and play for them.
When the game got going, the Blue Demons dominated with 25 shots, but could not find the back of the net until the 58th minute when Alexa Ben scored her 8th goal of the season off a corner kick from Amber Paul.
I felt like we had a goal coming. We knew a goal was coming in. I think getting that goal was really important for us.
DePaul's defense controlled the game, allowing Xavier only 2 shots on goal. Although they got the win, many DePaul players felt they could have played even better.
I think we created a lot of opportunities, which is good, but I think we just need to finish our chances more, and whenever we get the opportunity to score, we need to finish it, because going into a late game like this, it's hard to score in all these conference games, so the chances we get, we need to put away faster.
After this win over Xavier, the Blue Demons have just one more regular season game before going into the Big East Championship Tournament in early November. Meanwhile, the DePaul men's soccer team went into double overtime before ending in a 1-1 tie against St. John's in New York. Eric Rodriguez scored the Blue Demons' only goal with a header in the 89th minute. DePaul's overall record now stands at 4 wins, 7 losses, and 4 ties, while they're 1-3-2 in the Big East. In other men's soccer news, DePaul alum Patrick Hopkins has taken his talents to Sweden, playing for a professional soccer club there. Graduating from DePaul in 2010, Hopkins was a center back for 4 years for the Blue Demons. He's now living his dream in Sweden.
When we came in, my entire recruiting class, we wanted to help to put DePaul on the map, and I think that over the 4 years that I was there, we were able to do that pretty well.
DePaul coach Craig Blazer said Hopkins had a tremendous work ethic.
He worked harder than anybody else, and he prepared well every day. He worked extra with our strength and conditioning coach. He was a quiet leader. He led by example, but he was a great leader on and off the field.
Hopkins said he's always wanted to play professional soccer.
I just decided, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot, and we'll see what happens. So, I decided to set on a journey, and I think I've done pretty well with all things considered with where I started at.
When he started as a non-scholarship student athlete because he was a multi-sport athlete in high school. He was a top-notch basketball player. So once he came to DePaul, he was immersed in soccer, and once he was immersed in soccer, he just kept getting better and better.
Here at DePaul, Patrick Hopkins is a 4-time member of the Big East All-Academic Team. He also started in 77 of 79 career matches. Currently playing on a 3-year contract for the club IK Sirius, which belongs to the second highest division in Sweden, Hopkins still loves the game and focuses on advancing his skills.
Part of the fun is every day going in knowing that I can get better, and I'm going to get better if I just put the work in.
So far, Hopkins has been enjoying his time in Sweden.
A good quality of life here. The pace is pretty easy. There's not a lot of stress. It's not as quick as it is in the U.S.
With 2 years left on his contract, Hopkins is unsure where he'll end up. He says it could be the MLS, which is the American Professional Soccer League.
I could see myself coming back to the MLS and trying to play. But, I think I'm just going to approach that decision when it comes in 2 years from now.
From Chicago to Sweden, Hopkins has the support of his alma mater.
Here at DePaul, all the administration and coaches and his former players are so proud of everything he's done.
Frispark in mot straffområdet och det är en riktigt bra möjlighet och det är 2-0. Man hänger inte.
As for now, Hopkins says he plans to just do his job and have fun playing.
Yeah, like Coach Blazer said, everyone at DePaul here is really proud of him.
Wow, that's a great accomplishment. Thanks, Laura. We've all seen them before, public safety alerts issued by DePaul, some involving assaults. But what can we do to protect ourselves against these assaults? Good Day DePaul's Jacqueline Driscoll spent some time with the new club sport on campus that's taking matters into their own hands.
So far this year, DePaul's issued 12 public safety alerts. Over half of the victims have been women, and 5 of them say they were sexually assaulted.
Like these blue security lights that are heavily populated throughout campus, DePaul University has a number of existing policies that help address the prevention of assault. Sadly, 1 in every 5 women will still be the victim of a sexual assault throughout their 4 years in college. However, Club Jiu-Jitsu has decided to spread education and preventative methods with a more hands-on approach.
If the odds are against you, how will you react? Will you run away or will you fight?
A difficult question for the young women attending a small group self-defense class offered every Wednesday by DePaul's Club Jiu-Jitsu team. And a question they're beginning to feel more comfortable addressing.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now on campus, and I know taking this class, it makes me feel safer, and I feel like someone else could get the same feeling from taking this class.
Especially for women, jiu-jitsu is so good because it uses so many skills that just can be used by girls. I mean, if you're weaker and smaller and a guy's bigger and he wants to attack you, then you can easily do that and get away with it without using as much muscle strength.
While the club initially started as competition-based, Hyatt recognized his knowledge and skills could be a vital asset for DePaul women.
We started off with a basic competition class, and then we learned about these campus safety alerts kept coming on, and we realized that we need to teach these other kids about it, especially women, because they need to learn more about these leverage-based attacks or these techniques.
That's better? Yeah. There you go. Scissors.
Hyatt teaches the class by demonstrating specific techniques, but says the most important aspect is towards the end of each session, when the women can use their new skills in simulated one-on-one live attacks.
The moment somebody grabs you, everything goes out the window. So we have a period where we go live, and I go 100% like I'm the attacker.
Thankfully, the young women say they have not had to use their skills in life outside of class. But because of the efficient way Jiu-Jitsu has taught them to use their energy, they feel confident protecting themselves in any situation that may arise. Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Jacqueline Driscoll.
MAP grants. They're crucial to many DePaul students. This year, students only have 1 month to apply before the funds run out. Good Day DePaul's Winnie Dorge tells us why these grants are important and that the money for them could be shrinking.
Over 5,000 DePaul students receive MAP grants, financial aid that is only offered to low-income Illinois residents. Each year, because of the high number of applicants, the grants are at risk of being cut. DePaul's Executive Vice President for Student Affairs, Vanessa Catavillo, says their goal is to not only make sure the grant stays available to Illinois students, but also that the amount does not decrease.
And I think that's very important because we don't want our students at risk of ever being unsure of whether or not they're going to receive the grant in the upcoming year.
Because MAP grants affect more than half of DePaul's student body, the Student Government Association, SGA, created 3 initiatives to deal with this issue. 1, create a MAP committee on campus. 2, educate students on the importance of applying early. 3, closely work with other Chicago universities on this problem. In the past, SGA and other DePaul students lobbied in Springfield in support of MAP grants. This year, they're planning to go back, but this time with more students from different colleges.
We're planning to come together, all the universities and colleges that we're partnering with, in order to show state legislators that this is something that not only affects DePaul students, but students at Loyola, Roosevelt, and things like that.
MAP grants have helped a number of students in recent years, but what will happen if the grant is cut?
We would work to find ways to uphold the student body we have, but we would be facing very, very difficult measures. 5,000 students would have to figure out a different way to afford college here.
Not only is SGA Vice President Christina Vega supporting MAP grants, but she also takes pride in being a MAP recipient.
The MAP grant has really helped me and my family. I don't have the best background, and I don't have a problem saying that. On a financial basis, my parents don't make that much. So any type of financial aid was really important for my parents to be able to send me off to college and university.
SGA President Von Nita disagrees with legislators who have financial concerns about MAP grants.
Some concern rises in that they think we're investing in something that's not going to bring back any investment to the state of Illinois. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think DePaul specifically is a great example of how we are the economy of Chicago.
SGA wants the state to add some $50 million in MAP funding next year. This will allow about 21,000 more students to receive the grants. Reporting for Good Day DePaul, I'm Winnie Dortch.
When we come back, how one hot dog place is a staple for DePaul students in Lincoln Park.
Plus, how DePaulians are spending their Saturdays without a football team.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music.
This is epic.
She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. She's up all night to the sun.
Radio DePaul is Chicago's College Connection.
Chicago is known for its variety of restaurants, but they don't always have to be fancy or expensive to have great food. Good Day DePaul's Chloe Atkins visited one of those restaurants near DePaul and explains why it's so popular.
Devil Dogs is located just a few steps from DePaul's Lincoln Park campus, making it a late-night hotspot for many students.
I usually come every time I go out, so usually Fridays, Saturday nights, and I usually get the Chicago dog with coney cheese fries, and usually a root beer too. It's always really good.
Devil Dog serves red-hot Chicago dogs with toppings like homemade coney sauce, relish, onions, and green chilies from New Mexico. You can even indulge in their bucket of hand-cut fries that are made one potato at a time with a hand-cranked slicer.
Fries are amazing. You get chili dumped on them. Best you can have.
The atmosphere is awesome. It's people just come, they sober or drunk, they just like to have fun. It's a good atmosphere.
Students mainly come for the great food, but also because of the prices. Most hot dog and fry combos are under $6. All cups can also be brought back for a 50-cent refill, a bargain for those on a budget.
The most popular hot dog here at Devil Dogs is the Chicago dog. They sell around 500 hot dogs a night. I even got to make one myself.
Favorite thing on the menu at Devil Dogs is probably the Chicago dog #1, because Chicago's the best city in the world.
Another go-to item on the menu is their savory steak burgers, or pucks. Employees say the special food here was created by owner and chef Alan Katz.
Our menu is amazing. We have a bunch of unique burgers that Alan created. Like, he created everything on the menu, so, and he's a top-notch chef, so I guess the food really does attract the students.
Devil Dogs has been featured in Time Out Chicago and the Chicago Sun-Times with reviews that say Devil Dogs puts out some incredibly fine hot dogs, earning them 2 stars for very good. In the near future, Devil Dogs hopes to expand and open new locations near other college campuses. No matter the time of night or day of the year, Devil Dogs remains a DePaul delicacy. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Chloe Atkins.
Chicago Archbishop Blaise Cupich is following in Pope Francis's footsteps and choosing a more modest lifestyle. He recently announced he won't reside at the Gold Coast mansion that's housed Chicago archbishops since 1885. Instead, he'll live at the Holy Name Cathedral.
At colleges across the country, Saturday afternoons mean one thing: football. But with no football team here at DePaul, students have to make their own fun. Corbin Knipp explores what some of us are up to on Saturdays without a home team to root for.
While DePaul may be known traditionally as a basketball school, it also holds a different historic distinction. It has gone through 13 different U.S. presidents and an amazing 76 years without an NCAA football team. Now, at most universities, going to football games and tailgates is not only a tradition, but a rite of passage. Unfortunately, here at DePaul, that's something we can't share in, so that begs the question, what exactly do DePaul students do on Saturday afternoons in the fall? Well, junior Malcolm Harris explains his Saturday routine.
I'm kind of a homebody, so hanging out with friends. If we go out, it's usually, for shows, a lot of theater, I guess, museums.
Sophomore Drew Jackson, an admitted non-football fan, typically has more, laid-back plans.
Yeah, I just hang out. There's stuff to do around here, especially being of age. I'm a junior, so we're all in our 20s, so we can do alcohol type stuff. So
however, many DePaul students don't fall into this trap and use their extra time wisely by spending their Saturdays at the library. And while many college students across the country are destroying their bodies at tailgates with booze and unhealthy foods, many Blue Demons use this time to keep in shape. But much like the ongoing debate in Los Angeles as to why the city does not have an NFL team, the question becomes, would DePaul students even support a football team? DePaul junior and college football fan Evan Schmidt seems skeptical.
I do like going to some tailgate parties and whatnot, but not for DePaul. I feel like an inner city school should not have a football team.
Why?
Just because of the space needed for it. They're already the big basketball team, so I just feel it's not necessary. I feel like they could spend their money better.
So while many, including myself, have a hard time imagining a college experience without football, Saturdays here at DePaul seem to be moving along smoothly without it, and that's something that will undoubtedly continue for the foreseeable future. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Corbin Knipp.
That's all for this edition of Good Day DePaul. Be sure to visit our website, gooddaydepal.net, or find us on our Vimeo channel, Good Day DePaul.
You can also stay updated by following our Twitter handle at Good Day DePaul and like us on Facebook. Thanks for joining us. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Alexis Moberger.
And I'm Sarah Green. Have a good day, DePaul.